Ripping samples. Sampling is the act of taking a portion or sample of one sound recording and using it as an instrument, or a different sound recording of a song or piece. Sampling was originally developed by experimental musicians in the late 60s. It was used in minimalist music, psychedelic rock, and even in jazz. In the 70s, DJs who experimented with manipulating vinyl on turntables gave birth to actually hip-hop music. The first popular genre based originally around the art of sampling. The widespread of use of sampling in popular music increased with the rise of electronic music and disco in the mid-70s and early 80s. The development of electronic dance music and industrial music in the 80s took over, and the worldwide influence of hip-hop since the 80s. Often samples consist of one part of a song, such as rhythm breaks, drum loops, leads, basses, and I have that ready here to show you, to showcase it here in Logic Pro. I have the sampler ready, which is part of Logic Pro. It's called EXS24, and as you can see here in the menu, I have already like a whole setup of libraries ready there. And there is one particular here I want to show you. It's called the drum kits. It is divided, as you can see, in a dance kit, a dry standard kit, a 808, obvious from a Roland TR-808, a 909, a standard kit, hip-hop, jazz, percussion, whatever. So for now, we're just going to use a dance kit. So I made already this kit ready to showcase of all the samples I made, and let's just hear some. As you can hear, it's like all dance samples. I'm going to put it a little bit louder, just you can hear that bass drum, like a snare. And if I go now in the menu, you can easily see here in the edit option that you can see all the layers I pre-made of all the samples. And I didn't take those from vinyls. I just took them off sample libraries I did bought. And then, but I had to make everything myself in the sampler and divided up everything here in groups. So samples, often samples are taken, like I said, from other music, but it can be also from spoken words. It can be taken from media such as movies or TV series or anything. Sampling does not necessarily mean using pre-existing recordings. Now, in this case, I did take it off some sample libraries, as you can see here, all sorts of samples within my sampler. In the 70s, when hip-hop was confined to local dance parties, it was necessary to obtain a copyright clearance in order to sample recorded music at these parties. As the genre became a recorded from As the genre became a recorded form centered around rapping in the 80s, and subsequently when mainstream, it became necessary to pay to obtain legal clearance for samples, which was difficult for all but the most successful DJs, producers, and rappers. Aside from legal issues, sampling has been both championed and criticized. I mean, I use a lot of samples in my music. It can go from live instruments, from congas, toms, even street noises. One time I recorded a starting engine from a car. For instance, I chopped it up and I used it in that way. So like I said, there is a lot of sample libraries out there which you can buy. You can nowadays load them into any digital audio workstation of your preferred choice, and it will work instant. It's prefixed for you, samples nowadays, so there is no worry for any legal issues, of course. So anyway, it's just a personal matter when you want to use samples in your music or not. But I actually use it almost in every song. Part of samples can be drums, leads, basses, even vocal hooks. So the sampler is a really essential tool in your music setup. And yeah, ripping samples is part of that.